Josie has reared its head today with the news of the first ever IVF lottery launching in Britain this month, which gives people the chance to win IVF treatment. The game sees players buy £20 tickets online, with the winner receiving £25,000 worth of fertility treatments at one of the country's leading clinics. Profits will go towards To Hatch, a support charity for couples who experience problems conceiving. But various critics have questioned the morality of this approach to conception. So what do you think, ladies? Is there anything wrong with a lottery-style approach to fertility treatment?
Oh, we've all gone very quiet, haven't we?
Oh, looking at you.
Well, do you know what? I just think I've been very lucky and I've been able to conceive naturally, and it was never a question in my mind that I wouldn't. And I so desperately wanted children, and I have friends who've had IVF treatment who have been so desperate and would do anything, but it is very, very, very expensive, and after so many tries they have had to give up. So for me, if this is something that can maybe help them again and give them hope, then I don't think there's anything wrong with it. And if the money is going towards you know, research into fertility problems and stuff, then I don't see why it's a problem.
My problem with it is that the lottery in itself, the ordinary lottery, I think, is basically unfair. You might as well burn your money and chuck it out of the window for all the chance you have of winning. And, you know, research has shown that in the lottery, it's the people with the least money to spend, the least lowest form of disposable income that spend the most money on the lottery. And I worry that the same thing might happen again, that people who don't have a lot of money to burn anyway, who can't afford IVF treatment, put their £20 in and week out, and the chances of winning are so pitifully low. And the second thing that really bothers me is that the IVF treatment in this country is a lottery anyway. Yeah. It depends on where you live. It's a postcode lottery because some sections of the country, NHS trusts, don't offer IVF, and in some other places they do. So I think it would be a better solution if the whole business of IVF was taken away from the NHS and the government set up some kind of foundation so everybody had an equal chance. Because at the moment they seem to be shirking their responsibility. And
who would make the decisions then on who gets it anyway?
Well, I think it would be done in a fairer way, because at the moment there isn't a level playing field. If you're desperate enough, you know, you want a baby, I completely understand that. IVF treatment can't be just dished out by some places and not by others. That just is... We all pay taxes and we all pay for the NHS. It just doesn't seem right.
Or win it in a competition. That's what it feels... That's how it feels so wrong to me, just using the word lottery in the same sentence as IVF. You know, people struggling for babies. What worries me, apart from the word cheapening the whole process for me, I think that, you know, there are some people that are dreamers out there, and they dream about winning the lottery. And, you know, I know some people that write down, oh, I'm going to spend this and I'm going to spend that. You know, that's just going to add to their misery when they don't win. And that's my worry. Psychologically, I don't think it's a good thing.
But what about for the couples that do win, that do have a £25,000 opportunity to further their chances of becoming parents? What they're offering here is what they're saying is that if the IVF doesn't work, well, then we'll look at egg donations for you, or if that doesn't work, we'll look at surrogacy. So if you do win this lottery prize, they will stick with you for the whole journey and offer, I suppose...
Fabulous, but really bad for the people that aren't winning.
And I know what you're saying about the lottery, Janet, and the chances, but I would guess that a lot fewer people will be playing this than they would be any other kind of cash reward.
Well, they're going to extend it, not just to, you know, couples, but to gay couples too. They're going to extend it outside the UK. So don't think it's only going to be a few thousand people, because it isn't.
But already the NHS are giving opportunities to single parents, for example, single women, to have IVF. There was a case just last week in the newspapers. And I agree entirely with what you're saying, Zoe. I think by the time you reach IVF, you are already in a kind of desperate state of mind. Yeah. And the one thing that would worry me is how this would kind of play with your emotions, because I think actually a lot of the time the stress that you put on yourself when you're trying to conceive and you're not contributes to you not conceiving.
Yes.
Would you
Yeah,
concede that?
absolutely.
Do you think that
Yeah.
that is something that is as ineffective as not as a blocked tube, but I think that can really
But I
set women
can't see
back.
how it can be preferable for a private company, OK, it's a charity, to run something as fundamentally important as the right to human life. I'm sorry, I think it's something that the NHS should have been running but hasn't run it properly, and now should be taken outside the NHS and set up in a special foundation. Every woman in this country who wants to have a baby should have an equal right. She shouldn't have to buy a lottery ticket to get one step, nearer than the next person.
Absolutely. OK, well, that's what we think. What do you think of the IVF lottery? Are you worried by the moral implications, or do you think that it offers hope to those who really need it? Get in touch by going to our website. You can email us loose.women@itv.com, or you can get in touch on our Facebook and Twitter sites. But make sure you get your comments in today by 1:15. That's the 6th of July, and we'll read out the best later on.